Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. This is your host, Kushalmehra. So, in the last 3 years of my coverage on this podcast about Khalistan, Khalistanis, and Punjab in general, we've had a lot of back and forth about what Khalistan is, what Khalistanis are, and I've always said that it's a tiny minority in Punjab, and that too, in that a very small concentric circle of Khalistanis are actual real ones. Most of it is actually bit of wannabeism, uh, in my experience of talking to a lot of them. But then recently, I'd come across my guest channel, the Sangha show, and he narrates his journey in the first video that he puts up, and I'm glad that he's here today. Today we're going to talk about his journey. This podcast is about his journey, nothing to do with me. I'm just here to be a facilitator talking about him. So welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you, Kushal, for the invite. Honored to be here. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So explain this. So how old were you when you started? Because see, you're not born Khalistani. Right? It's a very integral, like the culture, the Punjabi culture, whether Hindu or Sikh, is not really like Khalistani adjacent. So it takes a little bit of effort for someone to become a Khalistani, unlike what the common understanding on a certain far right version on Indian Twitter is, where they think somebody's born Khalistani. No, nobody's born Khalistani. They actually, it takes a lot of effort to make someone Khalistani, and the efforts are multiple. Immigration and many other allurements that are offered. So what was your story? How did you become a Khalistani?
Okay, so there's two types of Khalistanis, especially in Canada, because most of the terrorists, when the Punjab police started, taking action, serious action, well, extinguishing them, they fled to Canada. So their kids, they're actually born Khalistanis. They have never had a single day of believing they're Indians. They actually believe that they're Khalistanis. So there's that, and then there's people like me. We are not born Khalistanis. We were told, okay, you're born here. This is your country, but that's your motherland. Like ethnically, you're Indian. We're from Punjab, which is North India. I belong to a military family. My grandfather actually fought against Pakistan in 1965 and 1971. So we always knew that we are Indians. We're just born here. I mean, I could be born in the ocean. I wouldn't become a shark. So what they do is one way or another, somebody gets to you. First part is they Golden Temple, Operation Blue Star. That plays the biggest part because that has the religious card. You get emotionally, animated. Okay, that how could this have happened to us? And then they tell you about the genocide of the Sikhs in Delhi in 1984, and they portray that as an attack by the Hindus, yeah, by India and the Hindus against the Sikh people. My story is, like I said, I belong to a military family. We always knew we were Indians. Somehow they got to my cousin brother. He's 5.5 years older than me. So this is 2002. I was between the age of 10 and 13. I just don't want to say the exact one. And 2002, long weekend, my cousin comes over to stay over a couple of nights. We're just in the park, walking and talking, and I started talking about this new Bollywood movie that was Indian Army Sunny Deol, right? It was called Ma Tujhe Salam. So I was like, oh, there's this nice movie. It's amazing. I watched it a few times. Let's watch it together. And he's like, why are you so excited about it? About Indian Army movies, right? You're not Indian. Now that shocked me. Like all my life, I knew that I was Indian. Okay, what do you mean? He's like, no, India, we are slaves of India. We are Sikh, we are Punjabi, we are slaves of India. Uh, we are fighting for a cause, a Khalistan, and that's our destiny. That was the first time ever that I heard of Khalistan. I had never heard of it. I had never seen a picture, a photo of Bhindranwala. I had never heard of his name. So then he explained to me, They attacked us. They attacked our golden temple in Amritsar in 1984 for nothing. And this guy and his followers, they were defending it. They were defending Sikhi, the community, the religion, and they attacked it. They killed all the people that were defending the golden temple, and then they basically massacred our Sikh brothers and sisters in the capital of New Delhi. So that right there clicked, your emotional side. You're a Sikh, obviously, and then you just start thinking about it. Okay, well, they attacked the temple. Nothing else matters. Why would they attack the Gurdwara? How could they do that? So then you kind of start seeing it as Hindu against Sikh. So that's how my this thing started as a Khalistani.
So it's so if you don't mind me asking, that the elder who started getting you into these things, is that elder still a Khalistani, or he's also kind of veered out of it?
No, we're all out of it. He was the first one to go. He didn't even let us know.
Oh wow.
Like he had gotten out like a couple of years
खुद निकल गया और तुम्हें
before he
फंसा के
told them.
चले गया.
Yeah, exactly. And Kushal bhai, the funny part is, so we started. So this is how it happens. This is how we found out that he had not been a Khalistani for at least a year, right? So we're talking, and we're like, this video that I saw, that doesn't sound right, because okay, this is what I want to tell the people here. Yeah, everybody, let's say Indians, right, born in Canada. There's two sides of us: the Indian side and the white side. The white side, the Canadian side, can see that this doesn't look like a religious defense war. It's a terrorism, right? It's terrorism. So I told him about this video that I saw about the so-called saints saying, if you don't give me back my bus by my bus by 5 p.m., I shall hack 5,000 Hindus in an hour. And his response was, "Wait, you're still into that shit?" I'm like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, no, man, I've been out of it for over a year. No, fuck that shit. Sorry, the language. Just let me know. I don't know about
ना
this
ना
thing."
गल्ला
Yeah,
कर दो, कुछ नहीं फर्क पैंदा.
yeah. Okay, perfect. So he's like, no, fuck that shit. I've been out of it for a long time. It's all terrorist bullshit. And I'm like, why didn't you let us know? Because he's like, well, it was embarrassing. I dragged you guys into it. I was the first one he basically turned into a Khalistani. And then we, one by one, ek karke, every cousin, every younger sibling, we turned them into Khalistanis. Yeah.
So like, so is there like, okay, I know the standard bits like Darbar Sahib and all of that, but see, here's the kicker. What I don't understand is that it doesn't seem to work in Punjab. Why does it work in Canada? Why?
Because Punjab has seen through it. It has been through it, and like teeny tiny little minority, right? They're not the majority, but the majority is the silent majority because they have been pushed against the wall since the last 40 odd years at a gunpoint. You're not allowed to talk against them. If you, so Jarnail Singh bin Ramwale to Khalistanis is what the Islamic Prophet Muhammad is to the Muslims. Even if you read out his name and you don't add sant in front of it, they get offended and they get aggressive. And then if you say, yeah, well, I don't think he's a sant, and then they get violent straight away.
Mm.
So Punjab has seen it. Punjab doesn't want to go through it, but right now, this is the reason people like us, we were forced to come forward because we didn't care about them. See, when their so-called Khalistani rallies are not actually Khalistani rallies. Nobody attends their Khalistani rallies other than these 10, handful of old people that you don't even know. Kal honge ya nahi honge, they're gonna be dead tomorrow. 15 to 20, right? So what they did is they took over the Nagar Kirtan, which is a yearly congregation. Everybody attends, right? In all cities worldwide, right? What they do is over there they start propagating all their Khalistani propaganda. They raise their flags and they portray it as a Khalistani this thing rally, but it's not. It's just literally a Nagar Kirtan that's been taken over by them. So the only problem is right now, the people in Punjab, the youth in Punjab, they're falling for their this thing, propaganda. So they're being brainwashed because of social media, and there are people like the religious card plays a very very huge role, because once you play the religion card, right, then everybody's just they follow you like sheep. Okay, we are sick. They attacked us. This guy Amritpal Sandhu, right, a few years ago, he kind of re-kickstarted this thing. It was over again. First, at the dawn of the 21st century, everybody had forgotten about this guy, Bindranwala. And then they started, they called him a saint. His photos were hung. They're still, they have a museum in the Akal Takht, in the complex of the Golden Temple. And then everybody started talking about him again. And then everybody kind of got bored after 2 decades of it. And then they basically sent over this made in China 2.0 Bindranwala, Amritpal Sandhu, who by the way shagged his own aunt, his uncle's wife. He
हैं?
was her lover. Yeah, chachiyan da yaar.
ये
He was
कितने
shagging
आई
his
सी
chachi.
न्यूज़ मीडिया चे आई सी
Yeah. There's a proper turban Singh. He exposed him. Tinder. They call him Tindran Wale. So there's Bindran Wale and Amritpal is Tindran Wale because his Tinder chats got exposed, right? They got leaked. Yeah. And in that chat, he was telling the girl
ओ
that
या
was honey
दी
trapping.
कॉल लॉग्स भी रिकॉर्ड हुई
Yeah.
सी ते रिलीज हुई सी ना अमृतपाल दी
GG.
या
GG.
रिमेंबर
G.
या
So he got a bunch of stuff, right? And people still follow him. I mean, like, why? What kind of sick is he? He's shagging his own aunt. He's telling a random girl, stranger on internet, it could be a old guy, like not even a girl behind that fake profile, right? He's like, the most used tunnel, like hole in my family is my aunt's. I did it. It's all up. It's all out there. So they started following a guy like him. So then we had to speak up. We don't want Punjab. You see, I wasn't born in Punjab. I'm not going to die in Punjab. I'm never going to live in Punjab. But that's where my roots come from. Even though I visited, like, let's say twice every decade, but I have connections there. That's where my ancestors come from. And I want to see it happy and prosperous, not under terrorisms, not under the dark clouds of terrorism that it been through before 40 years ago.
yeah but here's the thing, right? So what I've noticed is in my 3 years of work in Canada is that it's a very funny thing. Like if we look at per capita radicalization, right, amongst the larger population, the radicalization in Surrey is a lot more than the radicalization, let's say, in Mississauga and Brampton. This is where the Indian population basically is situated. Abbotsford, Surrey, Mississauga, Brampton. These four areas are really where the Indians live in giant numbers. Yes, Scarborough is there too. So you can add one more area. Like these five major centers are where the Indian population is based out of. Now, in terms of gurdwaras being controlled by Khalistanis, the number of Khalistanis who control the gurdwaras in Ontario are far more, but the population is not radicalized despite that. It's a very weird phenomena which I have studied over a period of time in the last 3 years in my work. As I don't know, I don't like to call myself a journalist, but I pretty much do the job of an investigative journalist where I go and
Mm.
interview people. And compared to that, in Surrey, I found the average population to be far more radicalized, but
Mm.
the gurdwaras are all controlled by non-Khalistanis. And it's a unique situation where in Surrey, the gurdwaras are not given up. It's not just the Ross gurdwaras. There are many other gurdwaras, like 7 or 8 more, who are not Khalistani. They are very much non-Khalistani gurdwaras. They do, and in Ontario, it has come to a point that there were, I think, two Ravidasiya Gurdwaras or Ramgadiya Gurdwaras, and one of them also became Khalistani Gurdwara. So there was only one left, and then there is one in Scarborough that is a non-Khalistani Gurdwara. So there are barely any non-Khalistani management Gurdwaras in Ontario, but in
Mm.
Surrey, it's the complete opposite. Now, why do you think such a phenomenon has happened where the population is radicalized, the management is not, where the management is
Mm.
radicalized, the population is not?
Mm. So it could be a couple of things. One, like I said, family matters. If your family is a Khalistani, no matter what gurdwara you attend, if every day you wake up to seeing the photo of Sant holding his arrow staring down at you, and then you go to sleep with the sun staring down on you. So you're gonna be a Khalistani. The second thing is, I don't know about the demography, but are the people in Surrey more of most do they belong to Jat caste? Because this is a Jat
Mostly Jat.
movement.
Yeah, yeah. Khalistan is a Jat movement.
Yeah, it's Jatistan, right? We
So,
we
so
are very
basically,
greedy
I'll tell
people.
you. So they use a caste slur for non-Jats, right? They call. I mean, it started off as people who live outside Punjab. Then it became Khatris, so they called them
Hmm.
Pape, Bhape,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call Pape. Karke. You know, so
Hmm.
like in New York, there is a Bhapya, the Gurdwara, and then in Ontario also there is a Bhapya, the Gurdwara. So
Hmm.
basically, the non Jat Gurdwaras were the ones in Ontario that do not have a Khalistani management. But in Surrey, even the Jat Gurdwaras are non-Khalistani. It is
Hmm.
weird. The management they fight. They
Yeah.
fight tooth and nail. I just don't understand how these things function. Like how much of it is actual radicalization and how much of it is like paise the game, like kind of money matters. You know how those
It's all
petty
money.
games are played, right?
Yeah. It's all money. It's all money. What's the Kushal? What's the easiest way to wash your launder your black money that the government's gonna
Religion,
ignore?
religion.
Religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could give them a check for $1 million and they can just cash it. Well, it's donations, it's charity. No questions asked. It's all about the money. So the non-Jat Gurdwaras are definitely, I think 99% they have no business being Khalistani because basically if Khalistan ever existed, they wouldn't be a part of it. If they were, they would be third-class citizens. It's all about Jats. I'm a Jat myself. I can understand our psyche. We actually think we are the chosen people. We are the Jews of Punjab. We actually believe we are the chosen people. Like everybody's beneath us. So
Hmm.
as for Ontario and Surrey, I couldn't tell you, 100% why that is. Where the Gurdwaras are not radicalized, but the people are. But then the Gurdwaras are, but the people are not. I guess family and your circle of the people that you interact with, it plays a huge role.
Yeah, but okay, so how does this family pressure work in the case of Khalistan? So I'll give you an example. I'm not going
Hmm.
to take names of these people, the Sikh
Yeah.
families that have given me, because it's all based out of confidence that they say. So I would go around and interview a lot of Sikh families over the years, right, to understand what happens here. Why do these pressures work? They're like, oh, kara jande ne. They start pressurizing us. They start giving us bad Yelp reviews if we have a restaurant or something. They start calling our customers and complaining that we're
Hmm.
bigots and we are anti this and anti that. And the last thing is always a bullet at the garage door or at the main door of the house. That these are the different levels of psychosis that these guys do it. So like what is your experience in this case? Like what have you seen?
Okay, I'll tell you what they do. So my Instagram, we just reached 5,000 yesterday, yeah?
Hmm.
And I'm saying it's half of what's supposed to be there. The reason is people don't even want to follow me because other people can see if let's say you are following me and you like a post of mine, right? Another friend of yours, if he comes across my profile and he goes through the same post, he can see Kushal, liked by Kushal. And then they message them. I have at least 5 messages from my followers who are not following me, but they watch every single live stream, they watch every single video, and they even send me screenshots of people who message them threatening them, you're following this guy. How dare you? This is the depth, the length they reach out to threaten people. It's all threat based. Now just imagine Punjab where there's guns. What do they do to people in Punjab? They kill people in Punjab. They're always, carrying their swords and their revolvers and all that. It's because Punjab is a Taliban state right now. Well, at least that's what they want to turn it into. My experience is Khalistanis, they don't like hearing the truth, and they're always in numbers. And when there are two of them and there's one of you, they're not even going to start a conversation because they know there's still chance that you're going to beat the shit out of them. When there are more than three, then they threaten. They will reach your families. Now, Punjabi singers, everybody keeps asking me, why do Punjabi singers always glorify these terrorists, right? You know Sidhu Moosewala, right? I mean, yeah, from Brampton, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Well, he got his fame here. Okay, he basically in his song referred to his girlfriend like, oh, you're a warrior girl like that woman from history, that Sikh woman from history, right? He was in
Mm.
Canada. Guess what they did? They went to his family's house. People, proper religious people with turbans, with the kirpan and everything, and they basically verbally abused her, the dirtiest of the words you can imagine, in Punjabi, because her son said something in a song that shouldn't even base it shouldn't even offend anybody. He's kind of saying that, oh, my girlfriend is a brave warrior like that woman. And they threatened his family. They threat everybody. If today they find out who I am, my distant family in Punjab, you think they're safe? They're not safe. This is their psyche. It's all fear based. Like I said, Kushal, the only difference between a Khalistani and an Islamist is that a Khalistani is not circumcised and he has bush. That's it. He's an Islamist in a Sikh body. Simple as
Mm.
that. This is from my personal experience. Same bullshit, same word. I have been mingling with Pakistanis since before my elementary school. Like, let's say I met my first Pakistani friend when I was 5 or 6. I can even speak their language. I can speak in their accent. You wouldn't even know it's a Pakistani or an Indian. So the same stuff, the same conspiracy theories and the victim card, it's cut and paste. The Khalistanis, exactly the same.
So, actually, somebody in the live stream had also asked this, and I wanted to ask you this. Like, so when you
Mm,
started getting sucked into this whole Khalistani trap, like, did you talk to your parents about this? Like, like coming from a military family, they would have given
yeah.
you a chitrol.
Oh no. So basically, what happened was, they gave me like a framed photo of the guy with the tir like that, and I displayed it in my house. I hung it on the wall, and my father took it off, and then we had a shouting this thing, and I was pretty young at that time, and then when I grew up a little bit, in my teenage, and I got bigger and taller than my father, well, then he couldn't do that anymore. And then they were
Mm.
forced to go, see that terrorist Indian Osama bin Laden every day. They even tried to tell me, this guy's not right. This guy was a terrorist. The only reason you believe him to be a saint because Osama bin Laden is an Arab. This guy is a jet sick. He's a jet. So naturally, you're going to, lean towards his this thing ideology. They were always against it. But I didn't listen.
Yeah.
Everything
So,
that they showed us, yeah.
so no, so I want to know. So the day you finally come out of it, was there a particular
Mm,
moment that, like, see, I'll tell you, like, my story of losing faith in a deity or a god is very boring. Like, I did not have that one moment of epiphany where I said, "Oh, I don't believe." Like, I just lost faith, and it was nothing special. It's a very boring story. But like in your case, de-radicalization is a very, very long drawn process. Like, how did you get de-radicalized? Like, how did it happen in your case? Were there videos that you watched, or was it the same cousin who
mm,
de-radicalized you, that radicalized you? Like, how did, like, did you start going through moments where, hang on, this shit does not make any sense anymore? Like, how did that
mm,
happen?
yeah. So, like I mentioned in my first video, so the first thing that happened was the video. I'm pretty sure we cannot play it because of copyright or something. So, you know how if you're watching, let's say if you're watching ex-Muslims, right?
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, YouTube's algorithm is gonna start suggesting you the Ali Dawah videos, like pro-Islam videos, right? So we were always watching pro-Khalistan videos. And one day, out of nowhere, there was a video, and I just clicked it, and it played straight away. ਜੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੱਸ 5 ਵਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਮਿਲੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ 5000 ਹਿੰਦੂਆਂ ਨੂੰ 1 ਘੰਟੇ ਚ ਵੱਢਾਂਗਾ means if I don't get my bus back by 5 p.m. I will kill 5000 Hindus in an hour. Now, under what circumstances could you justify that? So that clicked, right? And then obviously I showed it to my friend. I'm like, I saw this video, and This doesn't sound right, right? And he's like, oh, it's fake. So the Khalistanis had invented AI before there was AI. Everything was fake, right? Everything was fake. And and the second video that I saw, which took place, I think it's called the New York Convention, the Khalistani, and I forgot the name of the guy. So basically, he added another zero behind his saint's word. He said,
Oh, you're talking about the
Jinnah,
first video of the WSO.
yeah. Probably, yeah, that one. The guy dressed up in blue, I think his name was Ajor
Bagri,
Singh or something.
Bagri, Bagri.
Yeah. And that guy. So he said, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਤੱਕ 50,000 ਹਿੰਦੂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਤਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ means until we kill 50,000 Hindus we won't breathe. We'll kill 50,000 Hindus in a single go. And guess what happened in Punjab? Hindus were killed, dragged off of the buses. Punjabi Hindus. I'm not saying that okay, it would have been okay to kill anybody else, but they were sons of Punjab, daughters of Punjab, but they were killed. Targeted killing. And the main thing that happened was we were at a barbecue, and there's this guy, probably 10 odd years older than us. He got drunk and he started talking about, and this is the thing about Bhagat Singh, right? So I don't know how the topic started, long time ago. So he started verbally abusing Bhagat Singh, that, oh, we have nothing to do with that guy. Because of that guy, we became the slave of the Hindus. He is not our hero. He is the hero of the Hindu establishment. That didn't feel right. Because growing up, Bhagat Singh was like a brother to us, like he's a Punjabi, he's a Jat Sikh, right? So we had a direct connection. And Bhagat Singh is what made us, walk with our chest and head held high. That, okay, we are the brothers of Bhagat Singh. Now they started targeting him. In our time, they used to say, well, if Bhagat Singh knew that India would do this to us, let's say 40 years down the line, 60 years down the line, he would not have fought for India. He would not have sacrificed his life for India. But what they do now is they demonize Bhagat Singh because they know for as long as all these Indian freedom fighters that were Jat, Sikh, or just Punjabi and Sikh, right? We can drop the Jat part. For as long as we love them, no matter how hardcore of a Khalistani we are, eventually our heart may beat for India. And it happens. 2011, the World Cup final between India and Sri Lanka. I watched it live on TV in like a ballroom, right? And when MS Dhoni hit that winning six, we all cheered and people started shouting Bharat Mata Ki, and we actually responded Jai. It just happened, spur of the moment. So that's what they hate about Bhagat Singh. So when they started targeting our martyrs, that's when I realized there's no way this movement can be okay. And then I started digging deeper into it, and I watched every single video that I was told was fake and you're not supposed to watch it. Just, fuck it. I watched everything. I did my research. I checked the sources, the Indian side and independent side, the international side, and it all basically showed me what it was. It's a terrorist organization founded by basically Pakistanis. It was born in Rawalpindi, and I saw through it.
So, in your experience in and around Khalistanis, were there monetary allurements that were given for people to remain Khalistani? Again, let me back it up by what I'm saying. In my
Mm,
experience of
mm,
3 years in Canada, what I notice is a lot of these Khalistanis, they help young kids who come from Punjab monetarily.
mm,
Um, and they get, these kids come because you have to understand they sell their ancestral land in many cases,
mm,
and $40,000 kharcha karke aande pehne, that kind of a scenario, and they knew very well, and they started exploiting that system. So did you in your immediate circles or in your personal life, were you given any monetary allurements by the Khalistanis?
Kushal, that's the sad part. Our time, we would meet up at the Gurdwara. We would go wherever they wanted us to go, and they would bring us back to the Gurdwara, and we would get langar. Most of the time, it was small, tiny, teeny samosas and cup of chai. That's it. We didn't get
एने
any else.
सस्ते च काम करता.
Yes. We were cheap Khalistanis. We got, yeah. I still have complaints. I still but it's the Khalistani HR. You still owe me money, lot of money. But yeah, but now they're doing it. About the guys coming over from India, yeah, definitely. So the LMI is the most used, frequently used scheme. You know, you charge people arms and legs 50,000 Canadian dollars, and then you give them $7 on the hour instead of 15 and a half basic pay, and then they have to dance on your beat. They cannot say they're proud Indians. They cannot say that guy's not a saint. They cannot say, "Oh yeah, we're against Khalistan, but we're just gonna keep working for you," because then they cancel their visa. So this happens
Mm.
for sure. And then all these students, right? Like, I don't want to demonize anybody, but it is what it is. All these students who come from India, from Punjab, they're not here as students. They're here to stay. That's a fact. So now, once they're here, like you say, like you just said, they sell their ancestral land in majority of the cases. All right. Once they're here, they want to make sure they stay here. They want to make sure they get their permanent residency, and it takes about anywhere between 2 to 3 to 4 years. Those 3 4 years are crucial. They can go this way or the other way. And in many cases, I know a couple of people personally who raised their flags, who shouted their slogans, and once they got their PR, they're like, "Fuck off." Simple, yeah, just like that. And they have the asylum card, right? So if anybody goes through all the, you know, the paths that you can take to PR, and they still not don't they don't get it, then comes asylum. I'm a Khalistani. The Hindu establishment wants to kill me, persecute me. So yeah, the LMI visa, the LMIA, is frequently used to brainwash people that come over.
Uh, Now, here's something I get a lot of hatred for, and I'll share. Like, I believe
Mm,
Khalistan is primarily a Jat movement, but
mm,
a Khalistani can be anyone,
mm,
in my opinion. Again, what I've noticed is, especially in Surrey, British Columbia, there are some very prominent Hindus that are Khalistanis. And Khalistanis ideologically, no. Khalistanis financially. They do dirty business with Khalistanis. They will do anything that helps their bottom line without realizing the repercussions it has on the larger community and the larger fabric of our society. Luckily, because Hindu and Sikh relations are so good in India, and the
mm.
Khalistan movement is so dead in India, that all these nefarious elements, they don't function. So recently, I'll tell you what bothers me a lot is that I did an entire thread on social media where I showed how that rapper, Khalistani rapper, Channi Natta and Moga, those two,
I know
मैं
Moga. I know Moga. Inder Moga. Yeah,
ਮੋਗਾ ਉਹ ਯਾ
yeah.
ਉਹ ਗਾਣਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਨੀ ਮੈਂ
Daku,
ਡਾਕੂ
Daku, ek
ਪਿੰਡਰਾਂ
number
ਵਾਲੇ
ka.
ਦਾ
Yeah,
ਪਿੰਡਰਾਂ
yep, yep.
ਪਿੰਡਰਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਾ ਗਾਣਾ. So these guys, Moga and all of them, they are open Khalistani rappers. They're not allowed anywhere, and there are these people, Hindus, who are inviting them for Diwali gala functions, and they're dancing with them. Now, I'm
Mm.
sorry, you may not be a Khalistani ideologically, but you're definitely Khalistani adjacent if you're promoting all of this. And I want to connect this all. Like, is this now a proper grift? Like, whether it's the rappers, whether it's the trucking industry, all of it's just a freaking grift. Whether it's the diploma mills, maybe it did start off at some pure ideological level, but in its current avatar in the year 2025, do you think Khalistan is just a grift now?
Agreed. Yes. And on the Hindu part, I'll say this: I have met Hindu Punjabis in Punjab that basically have stickers of Bhindranwala behind their motorcycles and their cars,
Yeah.
and that's basically chickens for KFC.
Yeah, I can back you up on that. And people find it very hard to believe. People find it very hard to believe.
Yeah. So in the neighborhood of India, right? So that part of Asia, the Hindus are the woke people. They want to appease everybody. All right, everybody's gonna be shitting all over them. Oh yeah, no problem. We don't wanna offend you. Most of the people killed in Punjab in the 80s, throughout the 90s, were Hindus. They were Punjabis, and yet you see Hindus supporting their ideology, calling him a son. I get pissed off when we have a live this thing, open live, open challenge, and the caller is a Hindu Punjabi, and he starts telling us how we are spreading hatred against the Sikhs, and then we are destroying the Sikh and Hindu bhaichara, the brotherhood. Right? There is no brotherhood. They don't like you. What do you think's gonna happen? The first thing I'll tell you, the Hindu hatred. Kushal, all we were told that Hindu is nothing but a moot pine, goa khane, as if they're just drinking piss all the time and they're just eating dung all the time. I didn't share a bottle of water with a Hindu. Let's say we're playing basketball, right? I didn't do that. Literally in my head, it's like, well, maybe, and that's the sad part. I knew that guy wasn't drinking any cow piss. I knew it for a fact. I grew up with him, but I stopped. All the people that I considered my family, like like Hindu, Punjabi, let's say my father's best friend, right? That I called Brahmana Chacha, means the Brahman is Brahman, right? Punjabi version for Brahman, like Hindu uncle, right? Suddenly overnight they became my enemies. I stopped going to their this thing place for Diwali. I stopped celebrating Diwali, and whenever they used to visit us, I would get to my house after they had left. Hindu is appeasing everybody. I don't get it. The Punjabi Hindus in particular, you're the victims. They are the supporters of the culprits who did it to you. Why are you supporting them? Why are you mingling with them? Calling Inderjit Moga. You piss on the memories of all those people that were dragged off of the buses, handpicked for being Hindu, and shot in front of their families. By doing that,
So not only that, like Channi Natta wrote a song called The Khadku Life. Like people don't understand what a khadku is. Like, okay, explain to people what a khadku is.
oh, I'll tell you what a khadku is. I'll tell you what a khadku is. A khadku is basically the noise maker. Yeah, khadka, khadku. Okay, so khadak is like khadak sing noise, right? So it's basically a sugar-coated term for a terrorist. A khadku is basically a guy who listens to his sant and he goes out hunting Hindus. That's a khadku. A khadku is a person who, along with his 10, 15 buddies with AK-47s, they go into a random village in Punjab with everybody's asleep. They knock on their door, tell them to open the door, cook us food right now, like a proper langar. There's videos of that all over YouTube. Khadku recorded videos from the 80s and the 90s. And they grab their daughters in front of their eyes in their home, take them to their rooms, and they rape them. And if the father, the husband, the son, the brother tries to stop them, they shoot them. They kidnap the youngest son and then turn him into a khadku. A khadku is basically the Khalistani term for a mujahideen. Now, what's a mujahideen? Mujahideen is basically in Western world, it's a terrorist. But to the Muslim, he's doing Allah's job, right? So a
Yeah, the
khadku and a
literal
mujahideen.
meaning, linguistic meaning of khadku is bold and courageous. The literal meaning
Yeah,
in that sense.
yeah.
But yeah, so what was interesting is what bothered me is when Channi writes songs, gets featured in
Mm.
songs like the Khadku Life, where I want to show you the images that the Khadku Life video actually had. It bothers my core because for me these things matter a lot, and people are and I hate this anti-Sikh rhetoric on the far right, because I'm like, you assholes, like, why don't you have some anti-Hindu rhetoric? If that is the case, like, here are Hindus that are freaking partying with the guy who wrote a song, The Khadku Life. Like seriously, for fuck's
Mm.
sake, like, what the hell? So here is, and I'm going to read the lyrics for everyone, and I'll share the images on the screen. I'll just read a
Yeah.
bit of the lyric of the Khadku Life. So this is Khadku Life RD featuring Channi Natta. So what does he say? वाह बनाने वाले ने भी क्या चीज
Mm.
बनाई है साली AK-47, हाथ लगाते ही बंदा मारने को दिल करता है. अर्थात,
Mm.
wow, the creator of the AK-47, you made such an amazing thing. The moment I touch it, I feel like using it. और उसके बाद में there is a famous chorus line, a khadku a life AK बन जांदी life, Jona Anakhnal Marna Dharam Vaste, that the AK-47 is an integral part of the Khadku life, and we live and die with pride for the sake of one's religion. And these are actual images that are used in the video.
Yeah.
Actual images. These are screen grabs from the video itself. I'm not making these things up. And my problem is that, okay, you understand a Khalistani supporting it, but look who's partying. And they're dancing. These are Hindus in the Diwali function. Now, who is this gentleman? I want to put this attention here. Who is this gentleman? Who is this guy dancing? And these uncomfortable questions need to be asked. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, you can feel offended by my, like, and you know what? They share it themselves. The worst part about these Canadians is they share it themselves. I don't have to. This is not something that I've dug up from the underground. No, saale khud hi kiya hai. So this was organized by something called the Times of Canada. The Times of Canada did this, and the CEO and promoter is Vinay Sharma. And this is what bothers.
Dancing.
Yeah, oi nach rahe si na. Eh dekho. Oh, nach rahe si. And look at this. This is Vinay Sharma. And Vinay Sharma, guess what? He is a secretary of the Hindu Sabha Mandir in Surrey. Go figure that shit out.
There you go. There you go.
So when somebody says, right, oh, it's just a Sikh thing, I was like, nah. A Khalistani could be a Hindu Punjabi or a Sikh. Most of them reject. Most Punjabis reject this bullshit. But it is such a grift. This grift has been going on for such a long time. And ये हुआ क्या मालूम है, सारे 80s 90s में जो सरी में खास तौर पे आए थे ना, इनके रोटी बेटी का रिश्ता है पंजाबियों का. रोटी बेटी का रिश्ता है. तो ये अपने घर में लड़कियां भी ब्याहते हैं. तो अब the grift is real. भाई गाने बनाना gangster life की. Like 3 years ago, I did a detailed podcast with 2 women, Sumati Thusu and Shivangi Deshwal, where they had written a detailed paper where they had analyzed the hip hop, Punjabi hip hop music industry, how it is full of caste slurs, bigotry, and all kinds of rubbish, basically. And today, look at how much cost we are paying as a community for that. Like अभी वो random racist handles वो निकालते हैं ये इनके वीडियोस ऐसे बंदूकों के साथ और हमारी ठोक रहे हैं. मतलब सालों 3 साल पहले तो हम बोल रहे थे इसके बारे में, तब तो तुम सुनते नहीं थे.
Yeah. Every Punjabi song, right? Even if the singer is not a Jat, it's every Punjabi song. This is the narrative, right? The POV from a Punjabi song. There's a guy singing, and he's telling a girl, I got these many guns and I got these many guards, and Jat has this, Jat has that. So it's a Jat macho thing. And then we have a derogatory term for literally everybody and anybody who's not a Jat. And then we get offended.
वो recent गाना सुना, वो बेचारी इतनी talented बच्ची है परम, उसके भी गाने में नहीं मैं Glock रख दी. वो Glock क्यों रखी है तू? She also is mentioning Glock. Like, people don't understand the psychosis.
Yeah. Gun culture is a big concern in Punjabi songs, Punjabi movies, and ground level reality right now. If you see all these nihangs, right? The influencer nihangs. So they're basically on social media. They got like 100,000, 150, followers, and all they do is basically they go to these melas, they go here and their everyday videos is basically him getting out of the car, somebody holding the door open, gets out, does this to the mucha. I don't know what superpower they get out of that, and then he just walks like it'll be a guy with a 32-inch chest, but he's gonna walk like he's basically Dave Bautista. That's the culture. And then it'll be all guns. That's it. Guns. We have this gun. We have that gun. It's all guns.
But what about the cost we pay as a community? Let's talk about that. Because we are a community, right? Indians. We are. Yeah, no matter what, no matter what a Khalistani thinks, the funniest thing, like, I've never stopped laughing about this. They hate being called Indian, but eventually
Mm.
they are Indian.
They are Indians. They hate that part. They're like, no, we're Khalistanis. Oh, we're Punjabis. I'm like, bitch, please. When your white girlfriend, she goes to her home and her mom asks her, like, where were you? She doesn't say, oh, I was with my that Punjabi Sikh friend that is fighting for Khalistan. She says, I was with my Indian friend. You're always gonna be Indian. You can identify yourself as a penguin. I don't give a shit. You're still gonna be Indian. The cost we pay is that they get this freedom. Recently, few I think a couple of months ago, there was this influencer from Punjab. It was a Hindu girl. Her social media handle was a Sikh name, right? Kamal Kaur. And it's not like she used to get naked. She used to give you the illusion that she was naked. And the same people who used to follow her, watch her, talk to her, support her, basically one day out of nowhere they called her, oh, we have this promotion, we want to take you there. She, silly woman, got into the car, well, naive, not silly, but and they took her to a parking lot, underground parking lot of a mall, and then they strangled her to death. They took her phone, and everybody, every single person, Kushal, this is what breaks my heart, they glorified it. I don't know if you're familiar with our lives. I have another co-host who's been doing the same work, not against Khalistan as much, but against propaganda against India, right?
Hmm.
He shared a video showing the same guy saying, "Well done, great job." She was, ruining the girls' mentality in Punjab, turning them into whores. He found out the same guy's comment in her previous videos with the heart emojis and the kisses emojis. Same guy celebrating her death. And you know where he was based? I opened his profile. Canada.
यार पता नहीं कनाडा में तो टट्टी हो पड़ी है मतलब दिमाग की लोगों की
I
सीरियसली
don't I
इट्स
don't no,
जस्ट
no, the problem is the white people don't even know Khalistan. Like they have seen this guy with the arrow without the bow, right? Everywhere for I don't know how many years. Do they really know him? Do they even know Khalistan? What is Khalistan? Khalistan has no base. There is not a single right at the time that other Indians had and a Sikh did not have. Not a single right. They were all equal rights, right? So what were you fighting about? So let me just give you basic details of how Khalistan started. There was this guy.
श्योर
Can I share my screen? I'll just
हाँ करो
show
करो
you a
करो
photo.
शेयर करो
Yeah, I'll show you a photo. We'll make this interesting so everybody knows what I'm talking about.
yeah
Everything
now
starts with this guy.
now you take it over and take your 10-15 minutes and explain everything you want to.
Yeah. Okay. So his name is Sardar Kapoor Singh, right? He was a government official. He was a corrupt official. He got fired. Jaleel Kitasi, like they fired him, like, bad terms, right? Insulted him, humiliated him. I don't know what technology he had. He was teleporting throughout India. He was there when Lala Lajpat Rai was hit on the head by the Gora, the white, this British police officer. And he was there when Bhagat Singh was, hanged. And he saw how he was scared. Well, he wrote a book saying Bhagat Singh was scared and Bhagat Singh pissed his pants. They believe this guy. This is the guy who said Muhammad Ali Jinnah offered Sardar Tara Singh a one country, two system kind of thing. Join Pakistan, so we will have a greater Punjab, united Punjab. This part of your population can live on this side. So basically, the defense and the economic part will take care of it, and basically you rule, right? And then he said Nehru gave him the same. That he this guy said, I was there, I was present. And the source is, trust me, bro. He said, Nehru gave word to Tara Singh, join me and we will give you Sikh Raj, Maharaja Ranjit Singh's Sikh empire. Now, how's that even possible? How could Nehru say that when 55% of then Punjab had already gone to Pakistan? Nehru knew the capital of the Sikh empire, Lahore, would be in Pakistan. Why would he promise him that? So based on this guy's lies, they started this Anandapur resolution. Okay, that we were promised. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. This guy was also there when Nehru told Tara
You
Singh
keep
that.
speaking. I'm getting called. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. आप अपना continue करो बोलना. ठीक है? I'm really sorry about
Okay,
this.
no,
Okay.
no, that's all. That's all good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I forgot to mention one point, that this is the guy, the same guy who said he was also present when, after independence, Tara Singh went to Nehru and said, "Where's our semi-autonomous, semi-sovereign state?" And Nehru said, "Well, times have changed." So basically, he betrayed Tara Singh, right? So supposedly, this all led to the Anandpur resolution, which basically says that we were an independent nation under the Sikh Empire, and we deserve a land. There were a bunch of other demands, but we deserve a sovereign or a semi-autonomous region. We rule. You, the currency and the defense will be yours, so Indian, but we, the Sikh, will rule Punjab. Now, what right do the Sikh have to ask this? The Prior to the independence, the Sikh empire had been, well, it didn't exist for the prior, what, 100 years, right? 100 odd years. After the independence, there were 120 Rajput dynasties ruling up and running. They're not asking for an independent state, and their dynasties had existed for centuries. Sikh empire could barely exist for 49 years, less than 50 years, not even 50. As I was saying, so this guy, basically based on his lies,
Mhm.
they started this Anandpur. Sorry,
Resolution.
yeah, sorry, I was hearing myself. So they started the Anandpur resolution, which basically, among all other demands, I think there were like 15, and they said, well, we had the British are the one who annexed the Sikh Empire. We were an independent country, and based on that, we need a semi-sovereign state that we were promised. They were never promised that to begin with. It's all lies. There's no sources, there's no evidence to it. Now, here's my question to all the Khalistanis that are watching. What right do we, Sikh, the tiny, teeny minority, have to a sovereign state based on a kingdom, not an empire, a kingdom that existed 100 years ago, that was dissolved over 100 years ago by the Brits, right? We were defeated. We lost. Done. Finished, right? End of story. There were over 100, almost 120 existing ruling Rajput dynasties in India after independence that had been there since like 500 years. Direct line of this thing rulers. I don't see any Rajputs asking for a sovereign state or a country or independence. What right do we have? We, the Sikhs, the Punjabis, right? We couldn't barely rule our own land for 50 years. Four kings, 50 years, done, finish. After King Porus, Ranjit Singh, it took 2,000 years for a Punjabi to become the king of Punjab. And the dynasty lasted for less than 50 years. Based on that, you want a Khalistan. Okay, let's talk about Ranjit Singh's map. Kushal, 5 rivers, the Satluj, south of the Satluj, where I belong, I come from, my roots are from, it wasn't a part of Ranjit Singh's empire. His empire was north of the Satluj, the river. So technically, even if you want a Khalistan, my part of Punjab, you cannot have it. We weren't even part of Ranjit Singh's empire. Okay, so Ranjit Singh's map, including the capital of Lahore, are in Pakistan. Ranjit Singh's birthplace is in Pakistan. Our time, the map was, there were no woke filters. We had a simple go plan. This is the map. Lahore is the capital. We will take care of these Hindus first, and then we shall march on Lahore. I don't know, with swords against two nuclear armed countries. I don't know how we're gonna win that war, but this was the plan. Now the map has changed. How are you asking for a Khalistan in India where Ranjit Singh's rule didn't even exist? That's their base, right? Now let me move on to this guy. So just give me a second.
No problem. Well, to be fair to the Khalistanis, high IQ was never their forte.
No, no, we said they leave their brains in the fridge when they leave their home.
Yeah, so it's like, it's kind of a stupid argument. Like, if you
Yeah.
start debating them on their level of intellect, like, you're gonna lose IQ points. That's the only thing. They're winning. If you start.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I say. If I had two options, right? Two choices, argue with the Khalistani or bang my head against the wall, I'll bang my head against the wall. It'll be nice and quick. I'll be satisfied. Okay. It'll happen in 1 second. Okay. If you can take this guy off. Now, the most common thing they say is Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale never ever asked for a Khalistan, right? You've heard of it. Okay. This is a Khalistani passport. Let me just remove this. Okay. Nice and clear. It says Khalistan. You see the hawk, you see the lion. Okay. Now, this is a photo of Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala holding the same, very same first ever Khalistani passport, and this is 1982. 2 years and a couple of months before Operation Blue Star. You can see the logo very clearly. It's the same hawk and over the globe and the lion. He's holding the same Khalistani passport 2 years before Operation Blue Star. And you're telling me he didn't ask for Khalistan?
Yeah, you can't help but laugh at this shit. Like, sort of
Yeah.
that.
And yeah, and I'll show and I'll prove it. And I'll prove it that what he's holding is a Khalistani passport with another image from a so-called Shaheed, yeah? And this is also from the 80s. Now,
Mhm.
this handsome fella, this very handsome fella, is holding the same passport that the Sant is holding. And the Sant never asked for Khalistan. We had a guest. He will keep coming. His story's not finished yet. He was there when he heard Bhindranwala say, we need to achieve what we couldn't back in 1947. We need to get a country of our own that we rule, not these Hindus. His words. But then again, that doesn't fit into their narrative. So they're all lies by the Hindu establishment. This guy is holding a passport in 80s. Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala is holding the same Khalistani passport, the same Khalistani passport that I once held in my hand. It wasn't mine, but I was offered. But even then, I knew it was fucking bullshit. Like, what am I supposed to fucking do with it? I can't fly with this thing. It couldn't even get me from a bus from Surrey to this thing, Vancouver. That's the power of the Khalistani passport. It's just a printed little document that they wave around all the time. How stupid is that?
Didn't you see the official Khalistani embassy in Nijjar's
Oh yeah.
Gurdwara recently?
Oh, you should read the constitution of Khalistan. I forgot to. How could I forget that? It basically says non-Sikh cannot hold government positions.
Hari Om.
Yeah. So it's basically the same two-nation theory. I don't understand why can't they see through it. What did the Pakistanis gain? They divided Punjab, they divided India, divided Bengal, right? What have they achieved? India has reached the moon. Where
Pakistan
have
has
they
the
reached?
Asia Cup.
Oh yeah, they
Trophy,
have the Asia Cup.
trophy,
They have the
trophy.
Asia
Yeah, they
Cup.
call.
And
Trophy देने वाला.
thank God it was live. Otherwise, they would have declared victory. Thank God that match was live. It was on camera. So ditto, cut and paste, same thing. And now let's talk about this thing that the Sikh is slave of India, right?
Hmm.
Slave of India. One right, one right that the Sikhs don't have in India, as per the Constitution of India. There's not a single right that they do not enjoy. Okay? The Sikh is such a slave in India that a Sikh draws his sword, chops off the hand of an on duty, active duty police officer, and gets away with it. That's the slave that a Sikh is in India. A Sikh in Delhi. Now that the police officer thing was in Punjab. In Delhi, in the capital, there's a Zomato, which is basically the Indian Uber Eats, right? Zomato driver, delivery worker. He's taking a cigarette break. He's smoking a cigarette on the side of the pavement. His smoke bothered a Sikh. He warned him once, and he went a few steps, further away from him. And then guess what he did? He took out his sword and he chopped his hand off for smoking a cigarette in an area where you could smoke a cigarette. Does that sound like a slave to you? Can you do that in America? Can you do that in Canada? Can you do that in Pakistan? Now, there's a recent video, and that's on my Instagram, of a few Sikhs traveling on a train, an Indian train, the air conditioned this thing, right? The car, without a ticket. And the conductor asks for a ticket, and he says, I'm a Khalsa. Khalsa doesn't pay for a ticket. Does that sound like a slave? Like imagine, like you're in this thing, Texas, let's say 1850s. You think a proper slave, could say that to his this thing owners, masters? Does that sound like a slave to you? And in India, during the first the so-called farmers' protest, right? There's videos of them sitting on horses and swords in the scabbard, and they're hitting the police officers with the swords in the scabbard. Does that sound like a this thing slave to you? Where is the slavery? I don't see it. I just don't see the slavery in India. Now, I want to talk about Blue Star. I want to just get a few facts out there. Okay, so Operation Blue Star happened. The things that led up to the operation. Bhindranwala was directly accused of the murder of a Punjabi Hindu journalist who was publishing newspaper against Khalistan, against their ideology, and they killed him. And that's what led to him hiding in the Golden Temple. He took refuge there. From the temple, he said 5,000 Hindus in 1 hour. In the Golden Temple. Now let me show you let me just remove these. I just want to talk about the things that happened in the Golden Temple that caused the Operation Blue Star. Now, so I'm just going to share this guy. Okay, looks like a very peaceful guy, right? Just your everyday Sajjan Mitra. This guy's name is Surinder Singh Sodhi. This guy raped his best friend's wife while his best friend was out of Punjab on a mission to rob a bank in Maharashtra, in Mumbai. He raped his friend's wife. Upon returning, the woman, told her husband that this guy raped her. They call him. He goes to visit them, and they kill him in their house. And he's considered a shaheed, martyr. Shaheed of what? Martyr of what? You raped somebody, and her husband and her, they killed you. And he's considered one of their favorite martyrs. Now the girl, what happens? Her name is Baljeet Kaur. And the eyewitness to all this, one of them has been on our show. The other one is coming this Saturday, tomorrow. The woman went to Bhindranwala and started shouting, waving the pistol, that, okay, he had raped me and I killed him. I took revenge. Kushal, within the complex of the Golden Temple, let me just give you a photo of that too. So just so people know what I'm talking about. So you can see the Golden Temple in the middle of the Sarovar. Okay, you see that Nanak Nivas, Mata Gujri. Okay, so Nanak Nivas on the far right, that's where he was preaching. And then they took her into the Akal Takht, which is right opposite of on the south, south side, right? Opposite of the Golden Temple. They took her into the Akal Takht. That is one of the 5 pillars of Sikhi, the authority, right? They They raped her, they tortured her, they cut off her breasts, and they chopped her body into, I don't know, God knows how many pieces. And when her body was found, there were rods, metal rods, shoved up her private parts.
But
That
was
all that
this
happened.
reported in the media in India?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, yes. There's newspaper of her body being found, like that,
Yeah,
breasts cut off.
in the sewage.
Yeah, and there's eyewitnesses, actual Khalistanis who fought for him in this thing, Operation Blue Star. Kuljinder Singh Tilno, he's coming to my show tomorrow, and he's already been on WAD, and they tell you the story. Yeah, this is what they did. High-ranking police officer of Punjab police went to pray, and they shot him dead on the steps of the Golden Temple complex. Now, in what country, be it democracy or a dictatorship, can you do that and get away with it? For 2 years, for over 2 years, the Indian authorities told them to come out, stop this nonsense, come out, just leave the complex, right? They did not. This is what they had been doing. There's recordings of him calling people, I don't care who you are, what you do. If you're being bothered by the police, just come to the Golden Temple and I'll take care of it. What does that mean? So all the criminals, except for Amrik Singh, all his followers had criminal records. All of his followers were criminals. This guy, the one that I showed you earlier, Sodi, he was a peshewala criminal. He met that guy in jail that he became BFF with, whose wife he raped later on. This is what they were doing. They were robbing banks, going back into the temple. Now, there's another Khalistani, Sukhdev Singh Babbar. This guy realized that because of Bhindranwale's action, let me just display this. So this guy, he's the one who realized that because of Bhindranwale's, his name is Sukhdev Singh Babbar. I'm sure you heard of Babbar Khalsa International, very active. They're the one who shot up Kapil Sharma's Caps Cafe. He dragged Bhindranwala out of the Nanak Niwas and he told him to leave. Bhindranwala was scared of this guy. He left, but then on his way out, he saw Akal Takht. And then he went into the Akal Takht. And then this guy couldn't do anything because this time Bhindranwala would be ready. So even this guy knew that if these things keep happening, an attack is imminent. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. There's no other options, right? Now, all his followers were robbing banks. They were killing people. They were killing politicians. They were killing police officers. One thing, they took BSF, the Border Security Force, 10 people, 10 active members of the BSF. On gunpoint, they took them into the Golden Temple and they killed all of them and grabbed all their weapons. The BSF never stopped them going in and out. They were just standing there on duty, guarding, observing. They took them 10. Now that's the state guard, whatever you want to call it, right? The border guard. It's still the army. It's a branch of the army. You kill 10 soldiers in the Golden Temple. You think that the army is not going to take action? How's that possible? The things that caused the Golden Temple to be attacked, it wasn't an attack, it was a liberation. Now, let me just give you this guy's photo, and I'll tell you his story, just so the Khalistanis know what I'm talking about, that it just didn't happen in India. It happened elsewhere, and it will keep happening if people terrorize the state. They pick up weapons against the state for no apparent reasons. All right, so this guy. So he was a Saudi. His name is Juhayman al-Otabi. In 1979, he did the same thing. Him and his followers, they went to the Kaaba, Makkah, the mosque, holiest shrine of Islam, and they did basically the same thing that Bhindranwala did. Guess what the Saudis did? Within 1 week, they launched an attack. They liberated the mosque and they killed this guy. 1 week. Indian government waited 2 years, over 2 years. They let him stay inside there. Now, the only reason this attack by the Saudis is not considered an attack because both sides were Sunni Muslims. Now, if the Saudis were Christians, Arab Christians, and this guy was a Muslim, the Muslims would also call this a crusade against the Ummah. But they don't. They call it the liberation of the mosque, of the Grand Mosque. Now, let me put into perspective. Let's say today, the Mormons in Utah, Salt Lake City, let's say they take over the temple, and they do everything that I just told you that the so-called saint and his followers were doing. They kill people, they kill police officers, army officers, and they keep on hiding in the Salt Lake City temple. Do you think the United States Army is not going to go in there and liberate it? Of course they're going to do that. Now, if the US Army does that, and then let's say the Mormons in New York City, they get massacred, right? Like people kill them. Let's say people kill 15,000 of the Mormons in New York City. What right do the Mormons in Utah have to declare independence? Oh, you killed Mormons in New York City, so we, the Utah Mormons, are gonna just we're gonna declare independence. It was the Delhi Sikhs who got killed, and I wanna make this very clear. I have not met a single papa. That's what we call them, right? The Khatri Sikhs, right? I have not met a single guy who is a Khalistani. If you go to their so-called rallies, you will not see a single Khatri. And it was the Khatris who got killed. Punjabi Sikhs weren't killed by the Indian government or the people or the riots, the mob in Delhi. It was the Delhi Sikhs. It just makes no sense.
Well, the mob
Ji.
never has any sense. And just 2 3 points I want to add over here. Look, no matter what the case, I think there are mistakes from the Indian government's point of view, and that
Mm,
those need to be acknowledged too. 1984 could have been avoided, and Sidhu Saab has written, he was a former member of RNAW. He's written a detailed book about it, and many other books have been written about this. And we have to be conscious of the fact that what happened in Punjab after 1984 is an
mm,
abomination. But
mm,
what happened in many other parts, and the pogrom of six in after 1984 is a reality. It's a reality that
mm,
luckily most sensible members of the society have come together. But you cannot forgive the Indian state apparatus that it took the BJP government after all these years to come and give justice to some of
mm.
them. Sachin Kumar got punished. Now
Absolutely.
this hearing is still going on. Like, there is no justice, right? It's like the Indian state cannot be excused for its inaction. Like, why is Jagdish Titler? There are eyewitness accounts of Jagdish Titler. Fulka Saab has been fighting
Mm,
for the families. Like, I was in Delhi, I've met victim families. Like, the woman, one woman I met, she couldn't sleep. She still date has problems sleeping. And these are
mm,
realities that we should not forget. And
mm,
what the Congress workers did at that point of time was just an abomination. And unfortunately, what the Khalistanis did also is an abomination. And yes, I'm very much aware of the Laladu bus massacre and many other massacres that happened, and how Hindus were
mm,
taken out and literally shot at point blank. And most people don't realize this, that a lot of Hindu migration into Chandigarh in the mid to late 80s and the early 90s is only because Hindus were targeted in Punjab. नहीं तो चंडीगढ़ क्यों गए
yeah,
वो सारे के सारे? चंडीगढ़ जाने का कारण, including my immediate family, by the way. Members of my
yeah,
immediate family also moved to
mm,
Chandigarh because they just didn't feel safe in Punjab.
yeah. Most of them even move to Haryana because, well, basically it's like Punjab,
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
closer to home. It looks like home, but you're safe. Now, I want to just add a point regarding Congress and BJP. Everything that happened, right? So, Operation Blue Star, in my perspective, it was, unless they had come out, left the complex, there was no other option. It had to happen. Okay, that I consider
It could
an
have
attack.
happened in
Not on.
other ways, Sangha. It could have happened in
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
ways. Look,
Definitely. And they corrected their mistake. There were two other operations after
yeah, I know. 89 में जो
Operation
हुआ
Blue
था,
Star.
Black Thunder.
Yeah.
Black Thunder.
So 86, 88. 86 and 88 or 89, right? So Black Thunder 1, Black Thunder 2. No
Mm,
casualties except for the terrorists. So they
mm.
learned from their mistakes. Okay, it happened. darkest chapter of our history post independence, no doubt.
Mm.
But Congress did it. Rajiv Gandhi was heard on video, on audio, saying, that my mother's blood, the splashes should reach the homes and the walls of the Sikhs. And then the same guy went on camera and said, "जब बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है." The earth shakes when a old and large tree falls. The same Congress they voted 4 times after 84 into power in Punjab. Same Congress party. They want independence. They have a problem with Operation Blue Star. Okay, let's call in an attack, right? Guess who did it? Congress. Guess who directly did the massacre of the Sikhs in Delhi? Congress. Guess who gave them justice? Whatever justice we got after 40 years is the current government, BJP. And they are against BJP and RSS. Every day they call me. Just today in my this thing Instagram, I verbally fucked a guy for calling me an RSS agent. I'm like, fuck you. Come up with something else, They act as if it was the BJP people who did all that, right? It was the Congress. So where are your double standards? Right now, today, Sidhu Moosewala's father. Guess who's he's gonna become an MP from? Which party? Congress. Like you don't even know what you want. You're supporting and voting the same party that did everything to you. Now about the Hindus, right, in Punjab. The first the first event that happened was the Dilma massacre. Well, they dragged 6 Hindus off the bus and they killed them. It was on his orders. He gave the order to do it. And then in response, the people in Haryana, they did the same. Well, they didn't kill the Sikhs. Basically, they cut their hair, shaved their beards, and all that. And now those people went to Bindranwala and said, "Well, the Hindus did this to us." And he said, "Khalsa ji, it da jawab patthar ch davange," that we will respond to their brick with the rock. You were the one who threw the brick in the first place. They are the ones who responded with the rock. It was him who threw the first brick. He was the one who told his people to go kill Hindus, and they killed 6 Hindus. Dilma Baskand, it's called. Okay? That's how it started. And then everything was basically just action and reaction after that. They killed 2,500 Punjabi Hindus, 25 innocent Punjabi Hindus. Are they considered martyrs? Are they do they also count in the list of the sons of Punjabs, the lost sons of Punjab? Or no, just because they're Hindu? 2,500 people is a big number, especially when it comes to innocents who are just going by their business, home to work, work to home. I'll tell you one story that I told in my second video. Till today, when I think about it, I get goosebumps. I went to this village in Punjab, and so there's a abandoned house, right? Abandoned house. They call it haunted house. So in order to enter that house, you have to go to their neighbor's house, right? You know our culture. Okay, I want to see this house. They let you. They offer you tea. Indian culture. We're good people. The guy basically walked me through. He said it was around 11 p.m. and we heard some noises, and then my father, he went outside and saw like 15 to 20 people in our front yard, walking up the stairs, trying to get into their house. And they told him, "Get back in there or your family goes with them." You know what they were doing? So the neighbor's house, the younger brother, I don't know, so there were 2 brothers. One brother was a terrorist, the Karku. The other one was a family man. He had a wife, a son, and a daughter, both below the age of 10. And so the police, they went to his brother and they tortured him. Now just imagine, somebody tortures you to get details of the location of your brother who is a terrorist. So eventually, he folded. He gave the location. Well, this is where my brother is. Is it easy to send your own sibling into the jaws of death, confirmed certain death? Because of his information, the police killed his brother. And later on, the same day, in the morning, he cremated his brother. उसकी लाश अभी तक वो ठंडी भी नहीं हुई होगी, बुझी भी नहीं होगी, was still burning. These guys went to his house, set it on fire. The family went out of the room in front of the couple. They killed their daughter, they killed their son, shot them dead, who were both below the age of 10, and then they tied up the couple and they burned them alive because he gave information. His brother was killed by the police because they got information from him after torturing him. And they killed his brother, you killed his daughter, his son in front of him, and you burned him and his wife alive. And this is what they said to me. He said, Aapko pata hai na, bhari raat, like heavy night, means like haunted night, right? He said, if you listen carefully, sometimes you can still hear this kids screaming mom and dad. And just mentioning it, I have goosebumps. These stories exist in every single village in Punjab. Nobody's talking about it. Why? Because of the gun that's pointed on you.
You know what the interesting bit is, and maybe this could be our closing bit before we wrap it up, because it's an hour and a half. Is that nobody likes the Khalistanis. Even the communists hate them. The Khalistanis have a unique achievement of getting hatred from everyone. Like the communists don't like them, Congressists don't like them, Akalis don't like them, BJP doesn't like them. Nobody likes them. Like I think even their family members don't like them. Nobody likes a Khalistani, but because it's violence that they resort to, and people forget. The reason Khalistan got destroyed in Punjab, at the end of the day, it was a Jat Sikh who destroyed Khalistan in Punjab. You know, I won't name the name of a very senior Indian journalist who told me once he was having an odd conversation with KPS Gill, and Gill said in Punjabi, I'm just doing a translation in English, where he said, yo, this is a Jat issue. Okay, let us Jats deal with it. You Baniyas and Bamars stay out of it. He just said that to him, and he's like, you Baniyas and Bamars stay out of it. This is our it. And you know, we know how to deal with these idiots. We are Jat ourselves. They are crazy. We are crazy. We will deal with them and we will solve this problem. India is, and you know, it's a very fascinating mindset. But I have to remind people, there are some wonderful articles that especially, you know, about the murder and rampage on India Today. If you guys can download India Today archives, it's not very expensive. It's like 1,000 rupees a year. That's it. India Today ke archives hai, where Tavleen has written amazing articles. Tavleen Singh, the legendary Indian journalist, and Shekhar Gupta. And one of the articles that I often tell people to read about is the rule of the gun, and how teachers, okay, so there was this teacher who opposed these, you know, weird uniform diktats, and all she said was that give these students some time. They shot her. They would go and shoot journalists who would speak in Hindi. All India Radio. They would go and attack them. They banned Hindi as a language. So there were a lot of things that were done. But one thing why the Khalistanis had a longer run is because every good Sikh that opposed them during those, and there were many who opposed them. Again, I repeat, Khalistan in India could not have been defeated without the Sikh community standing up to them. Do not live under this assumption that without the Sikh support and the Jat Sikh support, this could have changed. They were the ones who were killed a lot. Unko bahut mara. And every time they would, you know, they would accuse a Sikh of being a Qaum ka Gaddar, and they would shoot him to make a case out of him, and then go and parade it in the entire village. And like I have heard horror stories of how, you know, how the cops dealt with it. So the Khalistanis would kidnap the cops' family members. So initially the cops would get disturbed, and then the cops were like, you know what, we will kidnap the Khalistanis' family members. I am not making this up. This is real. And they would have a hostage swap. In Punjab, the police and the Khalistani terrorists were doing hostage swaps in Punjab. Tu mere put nu chak likhta hai, main tere put nu chak liya. And then they would hostage swap, and then they were like, okay, truce, and then the cops would kill them eventually. So people don't understand that Khalistan was never a freedom movement. It was a movement of rape, pillaging, loot, plunder, and its new avatar in 2020s. in Canada is the same.
Mm.
This time, the blood is of international students, innocent students
Yeah.
from Punjab and Haryana primarily. This time, it is going to be slave labor. Do you know how many girls I have saved from being sexually trafficked? Right now, the count is 13.
Mm.
13 Punjabi girls I've saved from being sexually
Yeah.
trafficked in Canada. Thank you. And I'm sharing this horrifying story. I'm trying to
Mm.
confirm it again and again that near the Gurdwara in Scarborough, there is a Punjabi who owns 3 houses, and around 45 girls are living in those 3 houses who are paying a rent of 300 to 350 Canadian dollars in exchange of sex. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. ये कौम का नाम कर रहे हैं हम लोग. This is, it has all come down to this. But before we wrap it up, I want to give you the last word.
Yeah, so just a couple of quick things about KPS Gill. This is what I told everybody. KPS Gill was not an action by the government. He was a reaction to exactly what you just said. They would, all the honest police officers, they would kidnap their families. They would kill the police officers. KPS Gill was not in Punjab. He was in Assam. He was posted there because his family was all in Assam. They called him to Punjab to take care of them. And he did. And his exact words were, which we said the same thing. When people come in and you're like, oh, you guys are being aggressive. I'm like, you know what? Wahi, jo unhone kaha. Ke we say the same thing. Let the good judges take care of the bad judges. We did it then and we'll do it again. We know how to defeat them. We know them. I know their mentality. You know what bothers them the most, Kushal? This thing. This thing bothers them the most. Because they cannot do shit about it. I talk everything. I call their saint the reincarnation of Masarangar, who was a Muslim Rajput who had turned the Golden Temple into a whorehouse, right, in the 18th century. I called him that he came back to take revenge. Now, the second thing I just want to address is to the Canadian people. All the Gurdwaras, all the Sikh temples worldwide, especially in Canada, have the photos of these terrorists. The Hindus visit the same gurdwaras. People like me, we visit the same gurdwaras. I stopped going to the gurdwaras unless it's really required to. It's important. Letting them display the photos of all these terrorists is equivalent to letting the Muslims display the photos of Osama bin Laden and Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. If you're not letting that happen, it's time you stop that. We have a petition on change, and I just want everybody to go sign it so we can appeal to the government to ban the display of the photos of these terrorists. The Khalistani, if you see a Khalistani, and I'm talking to the Khalistani straight, you know you don't belong in Canada. You don't belong in the West. You're barbaric people. You believe that girls should be strangled to death because they're giving the illusion that they're naked. In Canada, your sister can turn out to be an OnlyFans model, and there's nothing you can do about it. But the same people believe that the same sister, when she goes to India, and this is very common, Kushal, if they know a girl has a boyfriend, they will take her to India somehow and they will kill her. And Canadian born people, born right here, they support these people. Go check their comments. You will click on their profile. You will see I have number plates of the cars of the people that are celebrating the killings of innocent people by these extremist terrorists. All these people are born right here. You think you got your hands, full with the Palestinians? Guess what? You got something worse coming your way, and you're not even going to see it coming. And that's the Khalistani cancer. It's a cancer in the belly of humanity, and we must extinguish it before it gets the power that it wants. Once it has that, Canada's gone. Canada's gone. It's gone. It's gone. That's it.
Well, we have enough people to fight for it. I'm sure Canada will win and decency will win. We already have a lot of positive movement against these idiots, and you know what the sad part is, that it just gives fuel to the far right of Canada, and it just
Mm.
adds fuel to the Indian hatred in Canada, and it's very
Yep.
disturbing. But and it's really disturbing, but it's okay. We are all fighting in our own way. I'm really happy and proud of the work that you're doing. Keep doing the good work, and I will always be there to support you. And put your head down, keep doing the good things. And I can't say may God bless you, because I don't believe in one, but if you believe in one, may he bless you. So all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kushal. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And yeah, well, I'll say Jai Shri Krishna.
Yeah. All right. So, guys,
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, I want to remind that Sangha's YouTube channel, his Instagram, his X handle, and the Facebook page, all the details are there in the description of this podcast. So, if you have not subscribed to his YouTube channel, go right now and hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go right now, hit that subscribe button. नहीं तो यशस्वी जायसवाल की डबल 100 नहीं होगी. लानत है तुम सबको.
All right.
And follow him on X if you use Twitter, or on Instagram. Give him a follow everywhere. And and always remember this, guys: the Cārvāka podcast does not do any ad reads or does not do anything related to advertisement. It is an intellectual endeavor based on membership supports or one-time donations. So please, showering your love towards this podcast, join the membership program, whether on YouTube or Patreon, or send your donations through UPI or Interac Canada. All the details are there in the description of the podcast. I'll see you guys next time. And this is not the last time I'm going to talk to Sangha. We're going to talk regularly. I'll make it a thing where I'll call him again and again. So all the best, everybody. Take care. Jai Shri Ram. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.